Good evening, ladies and gentlefers. My name is Marcus Bailey, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. Here we are in Plymouth at the Roots Garden, getting ready to see the Taproots going up against the San Jose Thrust. How are you doing, my man?
Doing good. I'm glad whoever decided to schedule these sports dens chose to not have us travel across the country in one day just to broadcast a game. Thankfully, we stayed in the same time zone, so I am thankfully decently rested, even though I could say I kind of caught up on my sleep considering that last game kind of turned into a snooze fest after the first half came to a close.
Yeah, it was a little bit hard to try and stay up for the rest of that game, but it's neither here nor there. We're going to talk about tonight's game, and I think this is going to be a much more intriguing battle as we get to see both the Thrust and the Taproots going head to head. Two teams that are fighting for playoff contention. Well, the Roots actually are pretty much well into playoff contention and getting possibly a top three seed, while the San Jose Thrust, they're still trying to find a way to get at least a decent seeding as we get into the final stretch.
Yeah, arguably Plymouth, you could say at this point, has locked in their position with only so many games left to go. They have a significant lead over the ninth ranked team in their conference. So I think at this point for Plymouth, their goal is just to do as best they can and be ready for the playoffs. Whereas San Jose, as you mentioned, kind of a middle of the Western Conference playoff hunt. They're good enough to be possibly a top four team, but because of how the divisions work out, they will find themselves as a fifth seed unless they manage to overtake Hawaii at some point or Santa Ana, considering divisional winners are guaranteed a top four seed. We could, in fact, see a situation where a fifth seeded San Jose is going up against worst record Montana Howlers in the first round, which would be a very interesting matchup, I could say.
Oh yeah, I think that matchup on its own could be really interesting, especially with the fact that even though that record wise the Thrust is a little bit better, but they're going to have to be the team that'll go on the road first, and it's already very difficult to win on the road in the playoffs, especially with the first two games where the crowds are in and at the most highest.
That is very true, even though I will give the Pacific Rim Division teams credit, considering I would argue they face a tougher gauntlet than a lot of teams face during the regular season, considering the competitiveness of the division. I mean, Alaska also well in the playoff hunt. We could see obviously all four Pacific Rim Division teams make the playoffs once again this upcoming season, which again, not surprising coming from the Division of Death, but it makes all of them a dangerous opponent to face in that first round.
Yeah, you're right on that regard. The Pacific Rim Division is always has really been one of the toughest divisions in a very long time. Pretty much since ever when I started doing these play-by-play or color commentaries for these games. I will say this though, even though that the Thrust bringing in a new player in Adam Tavella in the overcoming or keeping him around anyways for these past few seasons, he's really pretty much put his name into it. And of course, Barnaby Jazz, pretty much one of the faces of this franchise, doing everything that he can to helping this team being the best that they can be in this playoffs.
Yeah, Barnaby Jazz obviously coming in a few seasons ago, I believe 2015 free agency. Past 4 years have definitely been a positive for him, and obviously, like you said, getting Adam Tavella this last offseason has given the Thrust new life in terms of this playoff contention. And of course, you can't leave out the rookie Mike Rising. Their top selection for this last draft has definitely stood out amongst the rookies, considering he is leading, not leading per se, but one of the top rookies in terms of points per game, while being on a much more competitive roster than a few of the other leading rookies. But then again, you can't discount the Plymouth Taproots, who have undergone a revitalization under the new general management, obviously bringing in a good chunk of the Summit players, as we mentioned last night, Jake Turner and Kenny DeMarcus, two players, point guard to center, could be dangerous here tonight for the San Jose Thrust. And obviously they went young with two high draft picks themselves with Trevor Cruz and Michael River. So the Taproots, I don't think, have reached their full potential yet, and that is scary considering how well they have performed so far this season.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, with the Tappers, they kind of went into the same notion as the Dakota Bikers did when they had a chance to have a reset button in this situation. They've been able to be like, all right, we're going to just hop straight in win now mode, especially with bringing in Jake Turner and Kenny DeMarcus, and also having the trade with getting Odessa Springer as well into the mix. And of course, the young talent that you've mentioned, two of these players that are starting are both top 5 picks.
Well, Trevor Cruz was the 7th overall pick, but he was a top 5 rated player. I mean, semantics.
Yeah, he was a top 5. I mean, not here or there, but they both players have been ranked very high amongst the rookies in this class, and having the fact that they have both of these players in their team, in their starting lineup, are doing as well as they have. I mean, what a turn of events for being from the bottom to the top. We've seen the same thing with Dakota, and everybody's just doing the same copycat league, having the chance to reset everything and just hop right in as being one of the top contenders of the conference.
That is very true, even though you have to keep in mind this project that they've built is centered around Jake Turner's max deal contract. 4 years, $30 million a year. They are locked in and committed to him and what assets they have now. Not a lot of wiggle room for this team going forward to bring in any further talent. So we'll have to see here tonight, is this talent that they've accrued enough to take on arguably an equivalent rival from the West? And in fact, I think I see the players starting to head onto the court now to do the tip-off.
And indeed, that seems to be the case. You get a chance to see the players get down into the gritty as we see the starting lineups for both teams. I gotta say, it's a very exciting time here for the Roots. A lot of the crowd is just cheering as loud as they can as we get ready to get the tip-off started.
Let's see, when was the last time the Roots actually had a winning record? Jimmy, get on it. Like I said, tip-off here. What player from the Taproots and Thrust are you keeping an eye on here tonight?
I honestly think that it's, again, as we mentioned from last game, it's the battle of the centers. Jake Turner and Barnaby Jazz. Both of them are obviously one of the main leaders of each of their respective teams. Both having pretty good seasons. As we get the tip-off started, Sarah gets the tip in the Thrust, so we will start off with the team in black being the Thrust on offense. We see Sarah going for 3, and they're already able to make the first punch. San Jose up by 3 as we get things started here with the Taproots. You see River going over to Cruz. Cruz heading over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus going to get a good screen from Jake. However, not able to shake his defender, but he's able to find an opening. He's lead up, and it's in. Kenny slithering his way into the paint as he goes for a nice little finger roll. And right now we get to see Rising. The rookie passing it over to Tavella. Tavella passing it back up to Rising, who passes over to Sarah. Sarah getting a good screen. Is Adam trying to find something, and there's only not enough time left on the shot clock, and he's not able to get it down as Turner gets the board. So right now, so far so good, as Azad Gawker was able to tap the ball back out, but it will still be the Roots ball. So far so good, keeping a nice steady pace on defense, locking it up as River laying it up. No good there that time. Rising, going over the up, laying it up, and it's in. Good shot there by Jazz.
Yeah, I got to see how Turner deals with that physical aggression down low in the post. DQ is definitely the more defensive of the two when he was in Seattle.
Yeah, no, as we can see, DeMarcus with a nice 3 there, tied the game up 5 apiece. Like I said, that matchup is definitely the one to watch for between Jazz and Turner. As you're going to see do it. Heading over to Tavella. Tavella almost losing the ball there, but Gawker was able to get it, handing it back over to Tavella. Tavella trying to find a way to get into the paint, but a reach-in foul by Kenny this time. That's his first personal. So we'll see the shot clock get reset to 14 here. And there's a thrust. Able to get it back. Sarah handing it over to Gawker. Gawker back over to Tavella. Tavella looking for a screen, able to get it. Get a nice pick and pot, able to get it this time as Turner gets the board. So far, Kenny doing the mid-range shot, and it's good. So right now, Kenny being the main scorer here.
And I got an answer to my own question. Last time Plymouth Thatchers had a winning record was 2015.
Oh, wow. And right now we get to see a nice little lay-in there from Tavella. And yeah, it's been a long time since the Roots is able to finally get a chance to say that they are in contention to possibly being a champion this year. So a lot of teams, so a lot of players, fans alike are very excited. We can see a nice 3 there from Kenny. Kenny at the moment is being the top scorer for Plymouth.
Yeah, but they're going to leave him that open on the perimeter. He'll keep taking the shots as Gawker gets fouled on the way up.
And this time the foul on the rookie River. Right now at this current moment, we'll get to see Gawker go shooting for 2. He cut the deficit down to 1. It's 10-7 right now. The Taproots with the lead.
Yeah, and all off the back of Kenny's three-point shooting so far here tonight. So that's one of the advantages of having Jake Turner obviously in the post is that opens up that perimeter game, which is I think why Plymouth decided to go after Cruz. Obviously him also being able to stretch the defense far into the perimeter.
Yep, and we saw do it, making the first one. Let's see if he'll get the second one down. And is able to do so. So right now it is 10-9. Root still leading. Kenny, we'll see if he's able to slither his way to another basket. He's been doing very well so far in the start of this game. And right now he has a pass it out to River. River for 3. Not able to get it down there. This time Jazz has the ball. And right now the thrust bringing it up by Sarah. And we get to see the ball getting taken out by Kenny. Kenny doing really good on defense. He might be a little bit smaller than Sarah, but Sarah be able to get by him, and he's able to get the mid-ranger. So right now, it looked like he got the snake was able to get in his head a little bit, but he's able to reset and able to get a score there as San Jose gets the lead. As Turner, deep into the woods. He hands it over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus for 3, and it's good. And it looks like the Thrust will take timeout here. That'll be their first timeout of the game. And right now we get to see a very interesting matchup going on. Both teams showing no remorse, both offensively.
Yeah, much faster pace compared to last night. But again, with Kenny, he's on fire from beyond the arc. And they're going to need to make an adjustment to Thrust on how they guard him out there, whether or not it means they need to switch up who is on him or play more tight on him with Sarah. And actually we see Jake fouling Jazz as he drove to the basket. And that
actually, they're going to be going for... It looked like it was a reach-in foul. Interesting call there from the refs.
Yeah, and it's scary to consider that Jake has not really been a key point on this offense so far, so that has to be in the back of the minds of San Jose. At any moment, he could just unleash.
Yeah, right now we're going to see Tavella tried to find his way into the paint, but he has to go for a mid-ranger. Tough shot there, not able to get it. And right now, Tahiri going over for a mid-ranger in his own, but again, hitting the side of the rim. So Rising going for 3, and it rattles home. So San Jose is up by 1, 14-13 as we hit to the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. DeMarcus found a way to watch out for him. And he finds some room, going for 3, not able to get it this. He was going to miss eventually, though. So here comes the Thrust, having an opportunity to extend the lead. And Jazz making it work in the paint as he's able to get the tough 2.
I don't think Turner was expecting Jazz to get around him that quickly right there. The big shark showing some speed to spin around the bigger fox.
Yes, and right now River laying it up, and he's not able to get it down. Passes it up to DeMarcus, who hands it over to Turner. Turner passes it back up to Cruz, goes for a tough 3, and he's able to rattle. Oh, excuse me, it's a long 2 there. His paws are on the line. So Plymouth's only down by 1 as Sarah hands it over to Tavella. Tavella looking over to Rising. Rising crossing up the basket to Gakar, who goes for 3, not able to get it down, but Jazz gets the board, laying it up. Not able to get it down, but he will have Turner get his second personal as Jazz go on the line for 2.
Yeah, and this could be dangerous with 2 fouls already on Turner.
Yeah, that's not something you really want to see, considering he is your best player on the team right now. And, of course, Plymouth fans letting the ref have it. They thought that it was clean, but obviously it really wasn't. But they don't really want to see the Fox already with 2 fouls. It won't be surprising if they sub him out here after the first free throw by Jazz, which is good. And that's looking to be the case, as we get to see another former Summit player in Natalie Belmare get a chance to get in her minutes for a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, they were probably going to substitute the starters out in another 3 minutes or so anyways, so it's just a little ahead of schedule. He'll just be fresher when he comes back on the floor.
Yeah, right now we get to see River hand it up to DeMarcus. Getting a screen from Natalie. Might possibly go for a tough shot, but it gets blocked by Jazz, but Belmare tries to lay it in, but it blocks it as well. Look at Jazz just going for a block train at the moment. As Rising is able to take advantage of it, he will with a long 2.
Yeah, Jazz there just, I mean, I don't think he jumped a single time that possession. He just reached down and stuck his fins in the way and blocked 3 shots, I believe, is what the statisticians are going to say. But that puts him on pace for last night with matching who for the first half.
Yeah, that was a very excellent effort there by Jazz. And I will say, it'll be interesting to see how well they're able to really get into the paint on defense. Jazz with the turnover. I don't know what that pass was. It's Rising, looking to extend the lead a little bit more, but not able to get it down there to his side of the rim. And right now, Cruz losing the ball there, and Rising. Another costly turnover by the Taproots. And we're going to see Tavella go for 3, and it's good. No, a long 2 again. I might as well have to start assuming that it's going to be a long 2, because it seems like every time when I think it's a 3, it just ends up being a long 2.
Well, I mean, that's possibly 3 points that now San Jose does not have, because they were only a couple inches away, and now River going to try for a 1, and he makes it work too. But again, if you're that far out, just take it as a 3-pointer, guys. Come on.
Yeah, if you got the 3, it would have been a 4-point set instead of a 5. And every point counts, especially in the early going, as Tavella ends over to Sarah. Crowd yelling defense. And we're going to see Gakar open for 3, not able to get it down, though, as DeMarcus gets the board. And right now, DeMarcus looking for a mid-ranger of his own. He rattles it in. And it cuts the deficit down to 3, 22-19. And look at this. Kenny already with 15 points tonight.
Yeah, and that was a smart play from him, because he knew he had already beat Jazz down the court. So as long as he got the shot off quickly, he had the advantage. But if he waited too much longer, he would have risked being blocked once again, as we see another 3. This time it is an actual 3.
Yeah, that time the rookie Rising showing his strut behind the line.
Well, and that's another matchup, is the 2 rookies at shooting guard between Rising and Cruz. I think Rising has had the more successful career so far, at least rookie season, but obviously plenty of time left in this season, and obviously a playoff berth for both teams probably to see how they perform.
Yeah, and Tahiri with the and one, and as we get away to get a big sub in from both teams, get a chance to rest most of their starters. And yeah, we get to see some new fresh faces here as we get to go again in the closing minutes of the third quarter.
First quarter,
excuse me.
I mean, I know the score is the same as the last game at this point in the third quarter, but give them some credit here.
Hey, man, it's okay. I'm still a little bit jet lagged, as you say. And right now we get to see Knocked going over to Golton. Golton getting a good screen. Throwing up to Wadi, and Wadi is able to get the quick 2. And so the Thrust is still up by 5, 27-22. Right now we get to see Cena Celis passing over to Kurlinger, who passes over to Springer, then Tahiri once again with the rock, trying to find a way to get an opening. He gets a quick screen, and we get to see a reach-in foul by McMillan. And so we'll get to see the clock reset, be inbounded by the Taproots. And of course, we get to see Buckley come in for the game. And Springer hands it over to Buckley. Buckley back over to Springer. Springer go over to Kurlinger. Gets a quick screen. Having to do something with the ball here. Has to go for a deep 3. I don't know what he was thinking at that moment, but
God, why me? Why do I have the ball this far away from the rim right now?
And what made it worse is the fact that he pulled it back that deep. As McMillan hands it over to Knocked. Long-time veteran. He tries to find a way to go to spin move, laying it up. Not able to get it down, though, as Springer gets the board. And we'll see if we get a nice dish over there as Belmare gets to dunk it. And right now, the Thrust is up by 3 as McMillan gets a good screen. Going for a drive. Tough shot, though. As he was met by Belmare. Belmare almost loses the ball there. But he's able to give it over to Kurlinger. Kurlinger hands it over to Springer. Springer getting real tough as he passes it back out to Celis. Celis going for a 3, and it's good. Tying the game up 27 apiece. I will also say that with Plymouth, they had a really strong bench as well, having a lot of former players who were former starters in previous teams. Now seeing them coming off the bench like this, can't go wrong with how they were doing very well here, as we get to see Not go for 3. Not able to get it down that time.
Yeah, they definitely have acquired, I wouldn't necessarily say starters for some of the players, but good role players for this team to be able to have them come off the floor and do things. I mean, Celis obviously able to throw up the 3-pointer, and then Odessa Springer coming off the bench was a former starter. So her veteran experience is welcome on a somewhat inconsistent bench in terms of experience down there. As we see a shooting foul, we'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, right now you can see Springer's a little bit upset about that call, even though it was pretty clear.
So if you had to pick a weakness for both teams, which point on the team would be the weak link for San Jose and the Taproots?
I guess when it comes to the weakest link, I honestly will have to say for the Thrust, it might have to be their bench, in all honesty. There aren't really a lot of players that really stand out that comes out of the bench and really gives you that much needed spark that you need. And for Plymouth, even though that they do have some very experienced players on the team, I will say that especially coming playoff time, the rookies are going to be in a very tough spot because the playoffs is a whole new monster. As we get to see the closing minute here, as Buckley goes for 3, not able to get it down though. But Samantha tried to lay it in, but it gets blocked there by Waddy. Excellent defense there. And we almost got the ball tipped away as Waddy was able to get it back. Passes it out to Knocked. Knocked. Getting a screen. Looking back up, going over to Vora. Vora for 3. No good there.
Yeah, and I would agree with the mindset that Plymouth's arguably biggest weakness might be the rookies here. As we see the last possessions actually go to the thrust off the fingertip roll-in.
Yeah, and that was where we're going to end the first quarter here as San Jose is up by 3, 30-27. Very lively offenses on both teams. And, of course, some good defensive stops there in the first quarter as we get to go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think so far for Plymouth, the fact that they've relied so heavily on Kenny might come back to haunt them, as we've seen the San Jose Thrust bench actually outperform Plymouth's bench here. I have to wonder if this is going to be a continuing trend going forward.
Yeah, if Plymouth would be able to try and see if they can stay toe-to-toe with this Thrust team, the bench are going to have to step up tonight. As we get to see Bissina, who hands it over to Springer. Springer going back over to Salas. Salas. He's trying to find a way to get around her defender. He's having a tough time as he goes for a really tough 3. It's no good there as McMillan. Able to bring it up. Who hands it over?
Okay, I want you to spell last name. Go.
No, I'm not. You can't make me. This is not. It's not happening.
Okay, I will let you pass.
I will say. I'll just say Nikolai.
Okay.
I'll just go with Nick. As Nick laid up, not able to get it down, that was blocked. As Vicina hands over to Buckley. Buckley laying it up, and it's good. So right now, Plymouth only down by 1 here. As McMillan bringing it up. Pass it over to Parkhurst. Parkhurst going over to Knock. Knocked. Heading it over to Nico. Nico going to Parkhurst. Lots of passing right now on the thrust end. Getting a quick screen from Waddy. Going for a long 2. Not able to get it down. And we get to see a loose ball there by Waddy this time. So that'll be counting as a turnover. And it will be the Taproot's ball.
Well, he'd already lost the rebounding battle there, to be honest, so I'm not too sure if I would really call it a true turnover.
Well, it'll still be written down as one, as it is technically a foul. As Celis. Again, tough battle. Passing it over to Buckley, though. Buckley trying to do a quick spin move. Has to do something. Go for a punk fake. And he able to get the last-second shot.
Yeah, almost a little too fancy there, all the pump fakes and spin moves, but got to give it to him. He got it off before the shot clock. I was looking, it was like 0.3 seconds left, and I didn't think he would get it off in time.
Yeah, right now, Blith trying to drive in, but stopped very well. And right has to go for a tough fadeaway shot, not able to get it down there. Good defense there by Salas as she gets the rebound. And right now, Yusina passes it over to Perlinger. Perlinger going over to Springer. Springer with an easy drive up, and she able to lay it in with ease. So right now, Plymouth with the lead now, 33-30, as we have 9:30 left in the half. Get a quick pass over to Nico, who passes over to Knock. Nico with the screen. Knock going for a mid-range jumper, not able to get it down for the free throw line. And so far, Salas trying to make it extend the lead, and not able to get it down there was Nicole, who's able to get the board. Parkhurst hands over to Waddy, and Waddy with the easy lay-in. Right now, both benches doing a really good job going toe-to-toe as Taproot takes their second time out of the game.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is just so they can get their players back on the floor that they want. Perhaps change up the rotation here just a little bit. And, I mean, the bench has started to pick it up here, though, so I wouldn't fault them if they kept a few of them on the floor. But it honestly might be a good time to bring back in Kenny and Jake and see if they can punch a bit of a bigger lead here.
Yeah, but I will have to say, Waddy's doing a very good job in the paint so far in this game, as we get to see. So let's pass it over to DeMarcus. And we do see a majority of the starters coming back into the game, as we get to see a layup, and no good there for Kenny. But he will go on the line for 2 as McMillan with the shooting foul. As we get to wait for the 2 free throws, getting ready to get the shot down. Kenny, even though he has rested for a good bit, he has been able to score a majority of the points for Plymouth, as he's able to get the first free throw.
I think he's up to 18 now, in fact.
Yeah, right now we get to see some substitutions. I will see Sarah and Jazz come back in the game.
Yeah, I think whenever Turner's on the floor, Jazz has to be there as well. There's no, I don't think there's a good matchup against any San Jose Thrust player that they feel confident being able to stop or slow down Jake aside from Jazz.
Yeah, right now we do see Plymouth being able to extend the lead back up to 3-30.
Sells will bring out the court for the Tapper. See if she continues to take some threes. She's only made 1 so far here, but she is fairly consistent from beyond the arc. And Turner going for a long shot. It won't be a three-pointer, but might as well have been considering that range. Over to Jazz now.
Yo.
The shot's no good, and Samantha will pull down the board.
Yep, and we get to see DeMarcus bringing it up. And right now, Turner with the huge jam there. Really good win to pretty much extend this lead up to 7. And right now, we get to see the Roots bringing it up. And right now we see a Kenny being able to poke the ball out, as it'll still be thrust ball. And right now we get to see some swap ins, as right now we see Cruz and River come back in. And right now the crowd is still screaming defense. Showing a lot of support there for the team in white. As Jazz hands it over, and it gets a quick turnover, but the Thrust are able to get it back as Sarah goes for 3.
Clearly intentional, as they passed it to Plymouth, and Plymouth passed it right back.
Yeah, and right now we get to see Kenny. Get a good screen from Turner. Kenny driving, but gets fouled by Jazz. And now the speed of the snake slithering around really being a little bit of an issue here for Jazz that time. So we get to see Kenny once again going back to the line for 2 more.
I mean, it's almost not fair. It's so easy just to accidentally step on him a little bit and get called for the foul.
And he's able to get the first one. So far, Plymouth slowly stretching the lead out a little bit. And so now up by 6. Let's see if they're able to extend it to 7. And watch how I jinxed it for him, because, you know, you gotta love that sports caster curse.
Well, Kenny's too good for that, apparently, and he denies you.
Yeah, right now, Plymouth is up by 7, 41-34. Let's do it. Trying to take his toll as he passes it back out to Sarah. Getting a quick screen, a good chance for a pick and pop, but defense was close on him. He passed it back over to Do It, and Do It with the 3 there.
DeWitt doing it all night long from beyond the arc. I know. You're saying DeWitt when I'm thinking of Just Do It. I can't help it. And River going to try and answer back.
River not able to get it down that time. And, of course, Sarah sporting out his own three. And just like that, they're only down by one after a couple of quick threes. How quickly a lead can diminish here as DeMarcus going up, going for a nice mid-ranger, not able to get it down that time, though. And the Thrust having the opportunity to take this lead, and they do. No, never mind. I thought they were.
There you go, Caster's Curse. You jinxed it. The ball actually. The ball actually went out as you said it.
Well, they still have an opportunity to take the lead here. As Tavella pulling it back a little bit. Tavella trying to see if he can get something going as he passes to do it. Going over to Rising. Do it with the screen. Rising. Got the switch that he might want here. Passing over to do it once again, but not able to get it down. But Jazz taking the lead with authority here as the Thrust are continuing a 10-2 run in the last couple of minutes.
I don't think Jake was expecting to have the ball ripped from his paws there. Jazz was behind him. That was just good timing as Murphy answers back and pulls the lead back in Plymouth's favor.
Yeah, now they're up by 2, 44-42 as we get to the last 5 minutes in the first half. Sarah going over to Tavella. Tavella for the long two, not able to get it down that time as Turner gets the board. Murphy. Pass it over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus going for the three ball. Not good that time as Jazz was able to get it. Very long rebound and it's Rising. Bringing it up. We see the pacing getting a little bit faster here as Jazz laying it up and it's in. Going up against the Fox as they tied it up 44 apiece. Jazz with 10 points and 9 rebounds. Already close to the double-double.
Yeah, he's on track for a 20-20 game if he keeps this up here tonight.
Yeah, right now Kenny forcing his way over to Murphy. Going for a long three and he rattles it. So Plymouth still trying to keep the lead. We'll see if Sarah's able to tie it back up again, but they hand it over to Tavella. Tavella going for a mid-ranger. Not able to get it down, though. River with the board. And I'm getting to see DeMarcus. Bringing it up, trying to find a way to get around. He passes over to Turner. Turner was trying to get by.
Well, no, it was more the fact that Jazz was glaring at him, challenging him. He was prepared to take a charge there if the Fox even got too close to him. But Turner played it smart there and didn't bite to the challenge from Jazz.
Yeah, it's the smart moves from Turner. As we can see Tavella going over to Rising. See the Roots fans screaming defense once again as Do It steps out of bounds as he tries to go for a layup. So it's an unforced turnover. Not something you want to see there.
No, very unfortunate considering he had the advantage in terms of position. I think he just got a little too conservative there and just lost track of where he was on the floor.
Yeah, right now Kenny laying it up, and it's good. And just like that, we're extending the lead back up to 7, 51-44 Plymouth, and we can see the Thrust taking their timeout.
Yeah, but we've seen how quickly that can diminish with the three-point shooting ability of the Thrust. I mean, not to say that Plymouth themselves are a slouch, but all it takes is one or two missed shots and San Jose hitting 2 quick threes, and they're back in this game.
Yeah, I will say this is going to be a very interesting. We see a majority of the bench coming back in for the Thrust. And we get to see Do It. Pass it up to Sarah. Sarah going over. A lot of passing here for the Thrust. As Terrell Vora is trying to... It looks like he was trying to lay it in, but they're going to call it a reach-in foul by Cruz, so the clock will reset.
Yeah, 3 minutes and change left here in the second quarter. San Jose clearly wants to get this down to maybe a basket before the half comes to an end.
Yeah, right now we see more cheers. Plymouth being loud right now. As you can see another miss there for the Thrust end. As Cruz hits the back of a player, but he passes over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus laying it up and in. They're trying to do some street balling stuff over there. Because that's not very nice at all.
I know.
As we get to see Sarah going for a behind the back pass is Yosef. Getting a nice screen. Having a chance. Passing over to Vora. Vora for three. Nice shot there. A good assist as well.
I was saying, I'm shocked Vora even got the ball off. That Jake was flying in, and he had a pop in Vora's face there.
Yeah, right now Turner getting it done in the post, and he's able to get the next two. You see him very pumped up.
As I said, Jazz is off the floor now, so I'm not too sure if it was a smart decision from Plymouth, from San Jose, to pull Jazz while Turner was still in the game.
Yeah, right now we get to see Golden pass over to Do It for three, in and out, as, of course, Turner with the easy board there. Not even boxing him out at all this in that possession. And right now, trying to get something. We got to go for see a three, not able to get it down. But Turner, he had the ball, but it got just out of his grasp as Sarah gets the board. Rising. Pulling it back, trying to find a way to get into the paint. But right now, he's having a tough time going against Cruz. Going for the tough shot, and he's able to get it down. So right now, rookie-on-rookie action is Rising is able to get his 10th point of the game. Pretty solid showing there for the rookie. And we get to see Kenny rattling it home there. Seeing the lead extend back up to 8. 57-49. And right now we get to see Sarah getting a little bit double teamed there. He passes over to Vora. Vora going over to Yosef. Do it for three. Again, no good. As we get to see Cruz with the board. Cruz going for a three of his own, and he's able to make the swish. And just like that, Plymouth is up by double digits.
Yeah, this has turned quickly on its head. I was talking about San Jose trying to fight for a diminished differential before the half comes to an end. Now they're just fighting to stay in this game.
Yeah, right now, Do It is able to cut the deficit back down within single digits.
But the shot clock's turned off, so Plymouth could get it again if the single basket's made here.
Yeah, right now, Kenny, who has been on fire in this first half, instead pass over to Cruz, and Cruz with the dunk. Hey, we can't forget that he was also one of the participants in this year's dunk contest as Turner with the block.
Yeah, that full court pass almost worked out for San Jose, but Turner was ready for it and denied the last second opportunity there. And we're going to go into the half with Plymouth up by a significant margin here, and honestly all on the back of Kenny DeMarcus.
Yeah, Kenny DeMarcus has really been the star of the show, really showing why Plymouth went after him, and is doing a little bit of everything at this current moment as we get to see the score 62-51. And I have to say, it looks pretty even stat-wise, but I'm pretty sure that it's been lights out for Plymouth, especially trying to control Kenny.
Yeah, and Kenny has somewhat digressed compared to last season with the increased pressure placed on him by the lack of support around him that he had in Seattle. Obviously, Seattle had a lot more high-talent passers that could assist him with getting the ball down the Jake, but now in Plymouth, he's having to do it all with the rookies that are surrounding him. As we're going to go into the halftime stats, Kenny DeMarcus, as we said, 25 points, 9 for 16, taking a lot of shots but converting them, 3 assists and 2 rebounds. Jake Turner, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, potentially on track for a triple-double, perfect from the floor. Trevor Cruz, perfect as well, 3 for 3 with 7 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Andrea Matsunoro, 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover as well. Michael River, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 for 5 from the floor. Struggling a little bit. Yasina Celis, 3 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 for 3 from three-point land. Natalie Bellmare, her 1 basket being that reverse dunk on the fast break. Amelia Dessa Springer, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 1 for 2. Martin only 2 assists and a turnover. Alan Murphy, the veteran, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, putting up 6 points and an assist, a rebound, and a steal. And Buckley, 4 points, 2 for 3. Samantha, 4 rebounds, missed her 1 shot, but did pull down an offensive board. Hopping on over to San Jose, Sarah, 4 for 5 with 10 points, 2 assists, and a rebound. Mike Rising also doing well, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, 10 points total, 3 assists. Gakar struggling, 1 for 5 from beyond the arc, trying to push his range, but has 7 points and 3 rebounds. Tavella, 2 for 8, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal. Barnaby Jazz, as we said, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Did not get the double-double at the half, but close. And 3 blocks that happened very early and consistent from shooting. Yosef, only 2 assists. Vora, 3 points coming from beyond the arc and 3 rebounds. Wati, 1 block and 4 points, 2 for 2, perfect from the floor. Jonas McMillan, 3 points, 1 rebound. Blath Natch, 0 for 4, 1 steal and a rebound. And Cameron, 1 assist in her 5 minutes. And then Nikolaus Kashkvila, 1 rebound. I'm going to do that as my 1 attempt. Maybe I'll feel up to it at the end and make you do it.
No, I'm pretty positive that I will just watch it just as bad, if not worse.
Okay.
As we go ahead and get the third quarter started, getting to Marcus bringing it up. We'll see if he continues his hot streak offensively. We get to see Turner going for a nice little finger roll. Honestly, probably could have dunked it on anybody because he just had a wide open lane there. And right now we're going to see a reach-in foul for Kenny DeMarcus. That'll be his second personal. The clock will not reset since it is only 18 seconds left in the shot clock.
Yeah, that's about the only thing right now that San Jose could hope for with Kenny is that he gets in foul troubles. They almost lose the ball there.
Yeah, right now do it. He's able to get the ball back. Could have been another scare. Get to see a good screen as Sarah was able to take advantage of that one, cutting the deficit down to 11. We said field goal percentage-wise, both teams are doing very well, but Taproot, almost 60% in field goal percentage. The Thrust have to do something to try and tone that down as Tahiri hands it over to Turner. Turner passing it back up to Cruz. Cruz over to River. River for 3, and it's good. So once again, the rookie power forward for the Roots, showing out his range. And we get to see Sarah passing it over to Rising. Rising hands it over to Tavella. Tavella has a little bit of advantage going up against Cruz. Get to see a quick screen over to Do It. Passes up to Do It. Do It going for 3, and it's good. It was a good pick and pop. And Van is going for that assist by Tavella. And right now, get to see Kenny. Logo, who gets taken away by Jazz, and it gets picked up by Tavella. But a good defensive stop there. We'll see if they can find a way to cut the deficit down, and they will do that with Tavella with the jammer.
Yeah, great alley-oop. You can't forget that Tavella himself is a FBA dunk champion.
Yeah, right now we get to see Kenny going over to River. River for 3. Not able to get it down as Jazz picks it up. And Rising. Taking his time. And he gets forced out of bounds. And right now, it'll be the Roots ball once again. See if they can send the lead back to double digits. So far, it's a 9-point lead for the Roots. And right now, Turner headed over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus going for a long 2. Not able to get it down as Do It gets the board. Rising. Passing over to Do It. Do It. Looking for somebody. Has Sarah open. Sarah for 3. And it's good. Right now the Thrust are in an 8-0 run right now. I see a player getting a little bit slow to get up. Hopefully he's alright. As River. Taking his time and hands it over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus. Passes it up to Cruz. Cruz. Looking for something here. Trying to lay it up. And he gets the shooting foul as Giles with his third personal of the game.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. Jazz isn't happy with it. I mean, he felt like he was a clean jump, but they're going to call that contact a little bit in the favor of the smaller guy in these situations.
Yeah, right now the rookie Cruz is able to see if they can extend the lead back up to 8 with these next 2 shots upcoming. And he's good on the first one. And we get to see a large substitutions from both teams. And right now we get to see a Waddy Jazz combination on the thrust end. It'll be very interesting to see the big guys come to play. As we get to see Odysseus Springer come in for the Taproots. And Cruz is able to knock him down both. So, Plymouth 69-61 in the lead with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Waddy passing it over to Noct. Blith trying to see if he can get by the young gun as he passes over to Jazz. Jazz has a really good advantage here, but decides to pass it back out to Noct. Noct doesn't have a lot of time left, but he throws it up. Not able to get it down. Very interesting choice there by Jazz to not just go ahead and use his big body to get into the paint.
Yeah, I think maybe part of the concern was that he would draw another foul there because he could have charged, and nice double clutch there. Going to lay it up and in. That's back to a double-digit lead now for Plymouth.
Yeah, it'll be a 10-point lead as the Thrust has to call another timeout here in the early goings of the third quarter. So far, it seems like Plymouth has been able to find some kind of control in this game, especially offensively.
Well, they've been able to build a bit of a lead, but every time they do, it feels like San Jose goes on a bit of a run and they get within striking distance before Plymouth can recover. And eventually they do manage to rebuild the lead, but again, Waddy with the bad pass.
Yeah, another costly, unforced turnover there, but a thrust. We get to see Krillinger having a chance to extend the lead up to 12. Krillinger hands it over to River. River going over to Stella. Cena passing it up to Springer once again. Lots of passing there. We get to see a block there by Waddy. Waddy really showing his strut right now as a big fur. As Tavella hands over to McMillian. McMillian gets fouled by Tahiri with the reach-in. That'll be his first personal. And right now we get to see River and Springer getting subbed out for... Oh, excuse me. No, it's just... Springer will stay in. It'll be Knudsen coming in. And right now, Waddy going over to Tavella. Tavella passing it back up to Waddy. Waddy going for a tough mid-ranger, not able to get it down as Samantha gets the board. It's Tahiri. Hands it over to Knudsen. Knudsen back into Salas is in the paint. Has to pass it back out though. It's Krillinger. Hands over to Springer. Lots of passing here for the Plymouth. Get a quick screen, have a chance to drive it, but gets stopped in his track. Has to do something with it. Tough shot, no good there, but Knudsen able to clean it up with the lay-in. Surrounded by black jerseys too. Very impressive effort there by Samantha. Former biker. And right now we get to see Tavella trying to make some moves. Laying it up, and it's in. So Thrust cutting it back down to 10. Let's see if they're able to get a stop here to see if they can go within single digits. I see Krillinger going over to Tahiri, who hands it back over. Right now playing a little bit of hot potato with the ball. Hands it over to Springer, who goes for a mid-ranger and swishes it in. So right now, Million. Hands it over to Waddy. Waddy with a good dunk.
Yeah, that's just better positioning there. And, you know, we were talking about Taproot's bench earlier, and that brings it up that actually San Jose is outperforming them in that category. And really the only reason why I believe they have the lead right now is the dominant performance from Kinney we've seen tonight so far.
Yeah, right now we're going to see Springer going for another mid-ranger. Not able to get it down that time as Wada gets the board. Knock. Hands it over to Davella. Davella with a quick 3. Not able to get it down, though. Might not have to be trigger happy just yet, as right now we get to see Davilla's box score. Pretty decent numbers so far, but we like to see the field goal percentage go up a little bit. Aselis going for the alley-oop to Springer. Springer showing the spring in her step with that dunk.
Yeah, and the real issue is that Adam basically wasting that possession, taking a shot that, I mean, he can hit, but it's not his normal range, so they need to be smart about it. He's going to take another one here. This time, much better set with a screen to create some distance between him and the defender, so I'm not mad about that shot there.
Right now, we're going to see Celis finding her way into the paint, laying it in. Trying to show some zip in her step as well. As just our 5th point of the game, and we get to see the Thrust once again with another timeout.
Yeah, only 17 minutes left to go. The Thrust need to find a consistent pace of scoring, because they've had these moments where they look like they're on fire, hitting some quick rapid threes, and then they go on a 1 or 2 minute scoring drought that allows Plymouth back into a position of a 10-plus point lead. Or inbound passes, they get turned over. That's the 4th or 5th one here tonight for San Jose on the inbound.
Yeah, and that's what's really costing them here, as we get to see a quick block there and Tavella picking it up. Great way to respond on defense after a poor pass, and Knock trying to lay it up. Not able to get it down, though, as Belmare gets the board. And right now, Nicole, go over to Belmare. Back over to Kurlinger. Kurlinger slowly pulling it back. And right now, we're going to see Nicholas going over to Odysseus Springer, and Springer was able to turned it over to the Thrust, and we're going to see a quick mid-ranger there by Tavella, trying to keep the Thrust within single-digit range. Right, but right now they have to keep getting those much important stops here, and they do just that with Vora getting the steal. Able to intercept the ball with his paws is McMillian, pulling it back. Passing it over to Tavella. Tavella getting a quick screen from Wadi. Has a nice little lane open, trying to go for a free throw shot, and he's able to get the lucky bounce.
Yeah, as you can see, Thrust shooting much better this quarter.
And right now it's much needed. This Bellman pass over to Celis. Celis for 3, and it is good. Right now, Celis getting a little that old school college rivalry between the two. They both have been the main scorers this past couple of minutes. Now we get to see Tavella getting a quick screen, going for a pop situation. No good there that time. And right now the Roots and over to Kurlinger. Kurlinger going for a mid-ranger, not able to get it down though, as Vora gets the board. Tavella passing it up to McMillian. And pass it back up to Tavella. Tavella rattling it home. So right now, McMillan with the assist there for that possession. And now we can see the Roots try to see if they can answer back here. Now we can see a quick screen. Right now, I got to do something with the ball here. He passes it over to Kurlinger. Kurlinger going for a mid-ranger. Not able to get it down, though, as Vora. Another board to his name. And Tavella letting the rest of the team come by as Vora with the rock. Getting a quick screen from Tua. Tua passes it over to Tavella. Tavella hands it up to Knox. Knox going over to Vora. Lots of passing here. McGillen going for a tough 3, and he makes it.
Yeah, very surprising he was able to get that shot off cleanly, considering he had the defense draped all over him.
Yeah, and just like that, the Tigers had to take a timeout as the Thrust able to cut it down to 5.
Yeah, this is a momentum killer timeout. They're aiming to drop a play here that's pretty much guaranteed a basket just to cut out whatever momentum that San Jose is starting to build here, because, again, San Jose has been able to keep it close at times. Is Belmare off the inbound, literally not even going to take a dribble before she shoots, but she misses.
Yeah, and right now both teams having a large substitutions. And right now we get to see Do It, passing over to Yosef. Lots of passing, and Sarah passes up to Vora. Vora guarding pretty well. Has to do something. He passed over to Yosef. Yosef, tough shot there. He had to spin his entire body around and try to get the shot off. Right now we get to see Kenny passing up to Turner. Turner passing back up to DeMarcus. DeMarcus for three, and he drills that one. The Snake continuing the hot streak right now in the third quarter. We get to see Sarah passing over to Rising. It passes back to Sarah. And right now we slowly are getting a screen, but so far no good. Tried it again. Passing over to Do It. Do It for long too, but it gets blocked there by Turner, and he just took it. As soon as the ball hit the ground, it's Celis.
Yeah, and I already see San Jose making the decision to bring back in Jazz because Turner is not going to be stopped. He's brought it back to a 10-point game.
Yeah, and you can see the little strut that he's been walking back over to his defensive position. And right now we get to see Do It. Pass it over to Rising. Rising, handing over to Sarah. And of course, Plymouth's crowd is now back into it. And we see a huge block there by Turner. Right now, Kenny passing over to Belmare. Belmare for three, and it is good. Nope, long two.
Back to that again, apparently. And San Jose will get the last possession, so they could, in theory. Oh, but no! DeMarcus stolen from Sarah. Is he going to elevate? No, he just goes for the easy layup. And oh, just like that, Plymouth up to 91, and they have the crowd on their feet.
Yeah, what a way to pretty much end this quarter. Very costly turnover there on the thrust, and you can see the frustration on the team after that possession.
Yeah, I think Sarah was thinking too far ahead and didn't expect Kenny to be so aggressive there and go for that steal, and it cost him. I mean, you saw Kenny basically he could have waltzed his way to the basket. No one was able to get down there to put up any level of defense, and just like that, back up to a 14-point lead here is Plymouth.
Yeah, right now, I have to say, this is a very particular thing. You were really close to being able to get the crowd quiet. All the momentum was on your side, and just like that, Kenny with some huge plays. Of course, Turner as well. Both of these players really brought everybody back into it. I'm going to see a quick three there.
Stop it.
Well, long two again. Lots of long twos in this game. And right now, we get to see River pass over to Cruz. Pass it up to Turner. Turner. To see Jazz back onto the floor. Good thing for them is DeMarcus trying to get the quick shot up, but not able to get it down that time. It's Rising. Trying to pass into the paint, but it gets taken by Turner. This time, the Thrusts are trying to force it into the paint, but right now, it's just all the taproots as we get to see a thunderous dunk there by River.
Yeah, if I was the Thrust, I'd call a timeout here. They've clearly let this get out of hand after that one timeout from the taproots, but we're going to see a foul by River, maybe a little too excited after that big dunk, and we'll see, I believe, Rising go. Oh no, Sarah go in the line for two.
Yeah, well, it gives us a chance for the Thrust players to also take a little bit of a breather, because right now, the Plymouth is controlling the pacing of this game 100%. And right now we get to see Sarah able to get the first one. And of course, Sarah's able to make them both. So the deficit is now back down to 12. They still have a little bit of a chance here in the fourth quarter. It's right now Kenny trying to cross up. Going for a little isolation play. Couple pump fakes. Instead passes up to Turner, and Turner taking up the difficult shot there against Jazz. Right now, Jet and Turner also having a pretty good game here. 14 points, 8 rebounds. And right now we're going to see Yosef. Taking time, passes it up to Do It. Do It going over to Rising. Rising, getting a screen from Jazz. Go for a quick spin move, but gets blocked there by Turner once again. Turner doing everything on defense as Kenny not able to get it down, but River cleaning up the boards. There was literally no boxing him out at all on the thrust end.
And again, San Jose Thrust holding on to their timeouts despite watching this lead continue to grow up to 16 now. If this crosses the 20-point differential, I imagine that they're going to have to start considering this game done for at that point.
Yeah, right now, Jazz getting a quick screen for a pick and pop situation. They're able to get it down. As Mike Rising getting his 12 points of the game. Right now, both of the rookies on the shooting guard position aren't doing as much. As we get to see Kenny, once again, getting into the paint. Not able to get it down, but Turner getting the board, laying it up and in. Right now, at this moment, it has become the Kenny and Jake show. As Taproots are now up by 16 once again. The Thrust has to find some kind of momentum going their way. As Rising, getting a quick screen from Do It, passing it back up to Do It, and long three, not able to get it down that time. So right now, Cruz going over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus laying it up for the mid-range, and it's good once again. And just like that, Plymouth has cracked the century mark, 101-83. As San Jose is now down by 18. This has really gotten out of hand. They probably should call timeout at some point. That's Joseph trying to find something. Trying to get a drive back to pull back. Getting a screen from Jazz. Wide open look. Not able to get it down, though.
Yeah, at this point, I think San Jose is just demoralized, honestly. Between the two of them, as Kenny, thank God, did not hit that shot, because I would have just walked out of the building.
Yeah, and right now we can see Sarah trying to make some moves of his own, but a very bad attempt at a finger roll. That's right now, Cruz passing it up to DeMarcus. DeMarcus, at this point, he might have to be considered to be double teamed, considering how well of a game he's playing. As Kenny passing back out to River, going over to Celis. Celis being guarded pretty well, passing up to Turner, going over to DeMarcus. DeMarcus for a tough three, not even get it down that time. It's a good defense by the Thrust. Let's see if they're able to take advantage of that. As right now, we get to see Sarah with the rock. Passing up to Rising. Rising for the long two, and he's able to get it down there.
And again, the field goal percentage is not that different between the two of them. I just think the Taproots have been so much more successful from beyond the arc and from the free throw line even.
And once again, Sarah is right now getting exposed by Kenny at the moment. And it looks like they're going to go for some substitutions here as Yosef gets to sit out. And we're going to see Tavella coming back in. And right now we get to see Tahiri coming in as well. And now Kenny not able to get the free throw shot in as Jazz gets the board. It's Tavella going over to Rising. Back up to Tavella. Tavella going for a tough shot there, but he's able to get the mid-range. And of course, much improved second half for Tavella, with 15 points compared to 4 between the two halves. And we're going to see a huge swat there by Jazz.
That's not the only way they've been able to stop Kenny here. It's just blocking it outright. I mean, he might be one of the longer players, but he's not one of the taller, so Jazz definitely has a good advantage there if he can be in the right position.
Yeah, right now we're going to see Cruz. Hands over to River. River. Long pass to Tahiri, who goes for 3. Not able to get it down as Do It gets the board. And right now, let's see Sarah going over to Rising. Lots of passing there for the Thrust. Getting a double team as Rising dunks it.
Not his usual play, but it works in this situation.
Yeah, Tavella getting double teamed there as they realize that he is a little bit hot as well, trying to prevent him from bringing the game back. And we see a reach and foul by Do It. Not something you really want to see, but thankfully they're not in the bonus. So it'll still be inbound with 17 seconds left in the shot clock. Quick pass to Cruz, and Cruz is just left wide open. He didn't get it that time. That's not something you want to see there if you're a Thrust fan. And right now, Sarah passing it over to Do It. Do It getting a quick screen from Jazz. Do It. Getting real double team and gets swatted very easily by River. Probably should have just passed it back out of there as Kenny is taking advantage for a free throw jumper. And right now, Kenny DeMarcus, 36 points in this game. Are we about to see a 40-point snake?
I mean, honestly, at this point, they might as well just keep passing to him and let him get it. He's feeling it tonight.
Yeah, Jazz getting the foul. Drawing the foul, I should say, as he's able to cut the deficit down to 14. That'll be Turner's, I believe that's his third personal of the game. So right now we have the Jazz having opportunity to go for a 3-point play. See if they can cut the deficit down to 13. While it's still a little bit of a tall task, it's not the tallest we've seen of a comeback in the last 6 minutes of the game. But he misses that crucial free throw there as Cruz is thinking of going for a fast pace. Find a way he's way into the paint, but he's not able to get it down.
Well, I mean, can't talk about a comeback before it even starts, but I mean, honestly, with how well Kenny's been playing, I don't think there's going to be any true opportunity as Jake, even on defense, just not standing down, even with his lead. And I mean, Gakar will give him a 3, but they're having to fight very hard just to put up points.
Yeah, like the Roots are not letting it down on defense as they shouldn't. And right now, River losing the ball there as Do It is the steal. Much needed turnover for the Thrust as Sarah passes up to Rising. They need to get a basket here. They want to take it down to single digits. They pass it up to Jazz. Jazz with a tough finger roll. And right now, just like that, they're only down by 9.
I would not be shocked if Plymouth called a timeout. The coach was very intelligent earlier to do so before the end of the quarter, but looks like he's going to trust his team to keep it going with DeMarcus getting off the screen. Is good from beyond the arc. That is 39 now, I believe.
Yeah, and right now we're just seeing Kenny just taking over this game. Let's Do It. Looking like he got double teamed a little bit, passing up to Rising for 3, and it's good.
Yeah, keep an eye on Kenny. He's answered back when needed, and honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he goes isolation here.
Yeah, and they're doing just that. Because right now he has been handling Sarah very well, going into the paint, but he gets blocked by Jazz.
Yeah, a little overconfident, gives San Jose a chance here.
Right now we see a quick pass to Sarah, rolling it in. And right now San Jose is only down by 7. They're down, but they're definitely not out, as they're only down with 3 possessions, with less than 4 minutes left of the game.
3 possessions, but how many of those, how many misses do you expect Plymouth to miss in a row here? Well, there's one. But again, San Jose has to answer back with a shot, especially if they can get a 3 here would be big.
Yeah, that'll be huge. Right now, Sarah trying to find a way to drive. Gets a little bit of double team there. Has it to Do It. Tavella with the rock this time. Getting a quick screen. And right now, gets to see another double team. Has to find somebody, but it looks like we're going to have a jump ball there against River.
Yeah, this actually be close. River is the taller of the two, but I believe I'm going to go with Tavella. He has more hops here.
And it looks like that's not going to be the case as Plymouth is able to get the tip. And right now, they need to see if they can finally get a quick stop there. And they do so with Tavella getting in the way.
Answering back for his mistake with that, letting that jump ball situation happen.
Yeah, right now, Do It. And it over to Tavella. Tavella almost losing the ball there. He's able to get it back. Trying to go for a mid-range and not good. But Jazz getting the tough shot needed. And just like that, they are down to 5. They need to get another stop here if they want to have a good shot at possibly tying this game. As Turner getting right by Jazz, and Jazz has no choice but to get the foul.
Yeah, that would have been a great block there. He almost got away with it too, but Turner will go to the line for 2, and it's an opportunity here. If he misses one of these, I say the foul was worth it in the end.
Yeah, but if he makes both of them, it's going to be really hard to say that the Thrust will have an opportunity to get it back unless they get 2 huge stops at the end of this game. But right now, let's see if the Fox is able to be clutch as he makes the first one. So now San Jose is only down by 6. But if he's able to get the second one, it's going to be hard to really get back into it. And he does, in fact, make the second. So, Plymouth up by 7. I won't be surprised if San Jose calls the timeout here. But it looks like
I disagree. I think they'll hold on to it. I think they need to keep it. Oh, but they lose the ball, and that is costly. I think they were going to hold on to the timeouts just to shorten the field, but Otessa.
Yeah, but right now, that shot might have been the dagger there, as now they're down by 9. Unless they get the magic going with the threes, but it's been tough for San Jose to really get anything on the perimeter. Estera is trying to find a way to force it in as Jazz laying it up and in.
They're not going full court press. It's a little surprising. I'd expect them to try and force a turnover, but maybe they trust in their defense here to get a stop.
Well, let's hope so, especially for Jazz in the paint. But right now, Kenny, once again in an isolation situation, and he tries to lay it up, and he gets fouled by Sarah.
Yeah, now good opportunity here for him to cross 40 with these free throws.
I mean, honestly, it's just about a guaranteed. He is a very good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
And right now we're hearing the MVP shout chants from the crowd.
Well, I mean, MVP for this game. His overall season has not been of MVP quality, but, you know, the crowd can get hyped over his performance here tonight.
Yeah, as you can see, 39 points so far in the game and 6 assists. Very excellent game, but he misses the first one.
Oh, finally the caster's curse comes in.
But I'm pretty sure that he'll probably cross 40.
Stop jinxing him. You're going to have a very angry snake
I'm not jinxing him.
Giving you a very tight hug.
Kenny is not an angry snake. I've met him so many times, as of course he makes the second, being the first 40-point snake, I believe. In the NBA.
I think Aurora may have crossed 40 at some point in her career.
Either way, it's still a very good feat. As DeMarcus, once again, trying to give it up on defense, but Sarah was able to get it back, luckily, and it didn't matter, as we get to see Kenny, instead of actually going for a fast break to extend his, just continue padding his stats, he decides to reset the,
Yeah,
that right now, Tahiri.
A difficult situation for San Jose. They were diving for the ball as they kept trying to recover it.
And right now, Kenny not able to get it down, but Turner not able to get it down either. But I think it's safe to say that this game is just about done, as we see the crowd standing up for this crowd, as Dewitt's able to get the score and one more. See if they can cut the deficit down to 5.
Well, I mean, you can't count them over yet. If they make this, they're only down by 5, and there's plenty of time left for potentially to start going through the foul situation and try and make up that margin, especially since they have shot well from beyond the arc. I would not surprise me, even if he misses this shot, that San Jose starts doing fouls off the inbound.
And, of course, either or, they're going to have to go full court press, and he does make it, as Plymouth is up by 5, and as of course they're going for the full court press. And right now, I feel like Sarah might have to foul, but he doesn't do that. As Cruz able to pass it to Turner. Turner laying it up and in. And I think after that, you can pretty much call this game done.
Yeah, San Jose will probably throw up a quick 3 in hopes of keeping it close, because, again, enough time for them to have another possession, even if they make a quick shot here. which might be their goal. It's just going to be tough, and honestly, someone's been dipping in the alcohol. I don't think Jake Turner, despite his performance, is the MVP. I think you can say the 40-point snake definitely is. Sarah left open, wide open for three, but no good. That will almost certainly be the end of it here, and we'll have to see who takes the shot for Plymouth. I would be shocked if Kenny didn't, but Cruz will pad his stats.
Yeah, and just like that, Plymouth's up by 10, 21 seconds left in the game clock. We might as well just call this a game here. But I have to say, even though it was a losing effort, it was definitely a great effort there by the Thrust, showing that they can hang with some of the top teams in the league.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, these two teams would not meet each other in the playoffs until a final situation. So definitely, I mean, looking very far into the future as we see McMillan hitting a three, but even Plymouth has already subbed in their bench players. There's no reason to risk any injuries in the last 12 seconds. They know the game's done.
Yeah. We're now going to see some ball handling skills. And that will be the end of it. So, after this game here in Plymouth, the Taproots able to get away with this W. 118-111 is your final here. And I have to say, it was a really good game on both ends. Plymouth really showing that they can be a very dangerous game at home. And Kenny, man, what can you say outside of just a fantastic game for the Snake?
Definitely, and I mean, it was good to see him find himself here tonight. Have to see if he can keep it going forward. He's probably been the missing piece from this team that could push them over the top of teams like Bangor. And jumping into the stats again, 40 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal. He took 32 shots, though, so he was shooting well, a little below 50%, but still, he took the bulk of the shots as he was feeling it here tonight. Cruz, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Turner, almost perfect from the floor, wasn't needed, but took the shots as he chose. 20 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks. Matsunoro, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. River, 9 points, 6 rebounds, and a block, 4 for 10. Yasina Celis, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Springer, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block, 4 for 6 from the floor. Belmare, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 for 4, and an offensive rebound. Martin, coming off the bench, only put up 3 assists, but turned the ball over twice. Samantha, 2 points, but pulled down 6 rebounds, including 2 offensive. Roland Buckley, 4 points, 2 for 3, missed his three-pointer. And Murphy didn't see any time in that final half, but put up 6 points with 2 three-pointers in the first half to help extend the lead. Hopping on over to San Jose, Sarah, 19 points, 7 for 12. Shot actually really well, and only had 2 turnovers with a steal as well. Rising 8 for 13. Great shooting from the rookie there. 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Gakar struggled from beyond the arc, but 6 for 14. Didn't have a bad night himself. 2 rebounds short of a double-double, though. Tavella, 19 points, 50% from the field, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Jazz ended to 18 points, 18 rebounds. Only missed 1 shot, but pulled down 7 offensive rebounds. McMillan, 9 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 3 for 6, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Tawati, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal, and 2 blocks. Blath, 1 rebound and 1 steal, 0 for 6. Yosef, 3 assists, 0 for 2. Vora, 1 for 4 with a turnover, a steal, and an assist, but 6 rebounds pulling down the boards. Kashavishvili did that again. 0 for 2, only 1 rebound. Hope that never sees the starting lineup because I would love to see you hear that.
No, I would rather just die. But as we get to go ahead and see the the stats for each of the quarters, and as you can see, it was pretty close throughout the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously San Jose coming out on top on the first quarter, but they were not that far off. And it was really the second quarter that we saw Plymouth take off, obviously 64% field goal percentage, and that was when San Jose really struggled the most, dropping down below 40. But even then, the game was still within reach. In that third quarter, I thought San Jose was on track to take it back, but they struggled there in the final couple minutes, and we saw Plymouth go on that huge scoring tear and remove that 5-point difference. And obviously in the final quarter, San Jose Thrust did actually outscore Plymouth, but not enough to really make up the ground there in the end. It was just too big of a difference.
Yeah, and right now I will have to say, even though it was a losing effort, it was still a great effort by the Thrust. But it's just Kenny really being the star here, just showing that full potential tonight, being able to score 40 points. It's the first time for him, I believe, as well in his career. And I will have to say, if he plays like that, especially around the playoffs, the Taproots are going to be a team that you really don't want to visit in the playoffs.
Definitely, especially since I'd imagine uh, this team is going to almost certainly run into BLV or Bangor at some point, and I honestly can't tell you who is going to come out on top there. If Kinney is playing like he did tonight, I'd have to lean towards the Taproots.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that regard. Like I said, even though Jake Turner is obviously the face of the franchise right now, I think the X factor has to be on Kenny in order for this team to really make it to the finals. Because as I've said before, I've always been a very huge Kenny fan. I felt like it was his time coming to be showing as one of the elite point guards that we have in the game today. And he showed it here tonight, especially offensively with a scoring frenzy that he did this night, being around 50%, but taking all those shots that were very much needed. And the one thing that I'm surprised about the Thrust is that they never really decided to double team him in any way.
Yeah, and I think maybe that decision was made because of the fact that they had a rookie that they were playing with, and the decision to take a double team with a rookie is very risky considering that it leaves an open for the decision making process for when to double team and when not to double team is a bit challenging in a high paced game, especially like tonight when we saw how quickly players were running up and down the court that sometimes they didn't even get a chance to go to a double team.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it came down to for this game is the fact that the Taproots took control of the pace pretty much since around the middle of the second quarter. Really, that's when we pretty much just saw the Taproots just using this fast pace um, offense, which is something that I will have to say is something different that we've seen for both Turner and Kinney. Because back when they were in Seattle, it was more of a slow pace, down pound in the face in your paint type of team. But for this one, it has a little bit more of a stretching the offense a little bit, trying to get the defense to go for a pick your poison type situation. And right now, Kenny was the poison that they had to take.
Yeah, and oh, with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up here for tonight. It's been a long week with the All Star Game and two sports dens right after. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I've been Ryan Eastman, and joining me was Marcus Baylor. Thank you, Marcus.
No problem. I'm ready to go to sleep on the plane.
Well, we'll catch y'all next time. I believe the next game is. I know the last game involves Winnipeg, but the next game, I believe. Jamie, I need my notes.
Oh, Jimmy.
Lorraine at BLV, which I will see how that rolls out. Lorraine obviously in the playoff hunt, but fighting for one of the lower three seeds right now in the East, and BLV obviously fighting for one of the top three seeds. We'll have to see if Lorraine can steal one away on the road, or if BLV can continue to roll on towards the end of the season with the playoffs in mind for another championship attempt run. That will be on March 29th, and I hope all y'all tune in then. And have a good night.
See ya.